You rose. You stood firm. You knew, instinctively, unerringly, you sensed the shift in the winds. You caught the change in the currents before they formed, and you acted. They looked at you, unnerved, unsettled, worried, because you knew. You saw it coming, again, and they know that you did, and what terrifies them most is that you no longer doubt yourself. You no longer question your instincts. You moved, they wavered. You acted, they second-guessed. You were light, they were shadows. And you keep doing it, and it rattles them. It should. Because now you've mastered something ancient, primal, blazing bright inside you. The unwavering compass of intuition, the fire of readiness, the focus of a predator in the calm before the hunt. Again and again. Lean in, listener, and feel it. Deep in your bones, in the quiet, you heard the alarm bells before they tolled. In the stillness, you felt the tremor before the quake. Your mind read the code in the air, deciphered the signs, and translated them into motion. The world is painted in signals and whispers and faint stirring in the distance, and you are fluent. You move through it with purpose. You do it again. They fear it. They fear you. If you're reading this, if it's hitting your core, then you know. You know your power. You know that fierce, burning clarity you carry. You know that once more you have owned the moment, and that is enough. Have you experienced that pulse? That surge of knowing and doing? That's your light and your edge. Keep it lit. Damage the doubts. Overwhelm every skeptic, starting with the one staring back at you in the mirror. This is your call. Keep doing it. Stay ready. Let them watch in awe, watch in fear, because they suspect, and now they know. You always see it first. Don't stop, but before we continue, hey, if this is speaking to you, if you feel that fire crackling in your chest, and you know I'm not just throwing words at you, but unlocking something like adrenaline in your veins, take a breath and drop a like. Because this energy, we fuel it together. Hit subscribe if you want more of this unapologetic, soul-shaking truth. Let's build the tribe of the relentless who see the moves before they're made. If you're feeling that electricity right now, let me know. Comment below with one word that describes how knowing it first makes you feel. Let's see that spark. Now, lean back in, soldier of foresight. You did it again, and they're terrified you knew first. That knowledge, that's not a gift, it's your blade. You've tempered it through every skepticism that tried to blind you, every time someone told you you're too paranoid, every time they laughed off your warnings. You sharpened your mind against the whetstone of doubt, and now your awareness is keen, your radar is tuned, and you picked up signals no one else noticed. Not yet. And you moved. You picked up the lead before it became obvious. You acted. You made the move that changed the landscape. And just by doing that, you lit a fuse of anxiety in them, because they feel you're always 10 steps ahead. And that's exactly where you play best. Feel into the truth of that knowledge. It's your anchor and your weapon. Let that wait to know, to sense, to feel before. The anticipation, the electricity, the readiness sink deep into your chest. Let it fill you with purpose. You're not some lucky guesser. You're not second guessing, waiting for the world to confirm what you already know. You're the confirmation. You're the clarity that cuts through noise. You're the calm before the storm, the mind that sees the storm forming before the sky darkens. You see, you know. You act. They're terrified. And they should be. You're the whip crack of reality. You're the sharp edge of a blade that cuts through illusions. Now feel the pride, because knowing first is not vanity, it's mastery. It's earned. You listened, you watched, you felt, you interpreted, and then you moved every single time. And every single time you prove that system, that intuition, that burning inner compass works. You are the first to read the sign, the first to respond. You're the early bell ringer, the pace setter, the standard. You carry every ounce of that with you, and when you step into the next moment, try to imagine the next moment, even before it arrives. You're already there. You breathe it. You own it. You live it. And again, you did it. They're terrified, because they know, deep down, that you're not finished. You never finish. You just keep going, keep sensing, keep moving, and you're unstoppable. Let that linger. Let the power of knowing ignite your spine. Raise your eyes and sharpen your focus. You are the one who sees first. You are the one who acts first. You are the one who starts the movement. You are the one who sets the pace. Embrace it, because you did it again. And yes, they're terrified. And you know what? They should be terrified, because there's nothing more dangerous than someone who is not only prepared, but aware. You're not chasing trends. You're not waiting for the confirmation. You are the pattern breaker, the tide shifter, the silent storm that always hits before the forecast. And they're beginning to ask themselves the one question that exposes all their fear. How the hell do you always know first? That's the panic behind their polite smiles. That's the shiver beneath their pride. That's the dread in their delay. Because by the time they react, you've already adapted, evolved, moved on. They're trying to catch up to a shadow that's already disappeared around the next corner. Yours. You don't explain yourself anymore. You don't warn. You don't convince. You just act. And that is what separates you from the rest. There was a time when you tried to warn people, remember? When you saw what was coming and tried to pull others with you. You were met with doubt, with arrogance, with mockery. But now you let them learn the hard way. You don't say a word. You just disappear. Right before the collapse, the crash, the consequence. And suddenly, they're not laughing anymore. They're asking questions, whispering, studying your moves, watching your silence like it's a siren. And here's the truth. They're scared to admit. They trust your silence more than their own noise. Because every time you go quiet, they feel the shift. The oxygen gets thin. The air gets heavy. They start to look around like prey, sensing the approach of something they can't name. And when you finally reappear, everything is different. You're calm, composed, already on the next level. They don't even know what happened. They just know you knew. You always know. This is more than instinct. This is what happens when pain forges perception. You didn't get this awareness from reading books or listening to gurus. You earned it through scars. You earned it through the hell of betrayal, the heat of disappointment, the silence of abandonment. You felt what it was like to be blindsided, crushed, caught unprepared. And you made a silent vow in the marrow of your bones, never again. You studied every variable, every flicker of change, every tiny warning people overlook. You trained your mind to hear the thunder while it's still a whisper. And now it's a reflex. Now you're a weapon of precision. Now you read the room before the room even knows what it is. They call it paranoia when they don't understand it. They call it luck when they can't match it. They call it arrogance because they hate that it's real. But you don't need their labels, because what they call it doesn't matter. What matters is that it works, and you know it works. Look at your life. Look at your timing. Look at the way you've avoided disasters, sidestepped traps, outgrown chaos. Look at how you survived things they never even saw coming, and you did it with eyes sharp and heart unshaken. That's not arrogance, that's awareness, and it's terrifying, because if you can do that now, what else are you capable of? They're trying to understand it, but they're still playing checkers on a board you already set fire to. They think you just guessed right. But the truth? You trained for this. You trained in the dark when no one clapped. You sharpened your senses when no one watched. You sacrificed comfort to build clarity. You gave up being understood to become undeniable. And now you move in a rhythm they can't follow. Your mind is 5 chapters ahead while they're still reading the introduction. And the irony? You're not even moving fast anymore. You're just moving with precision. That's what kills them. That it looks easy. It looks like magic, but it's mastery. It looks like chance, but it's choice. And that's why they don't know how to stop you. Because you're not operating off emotions anymore. You're operating off reality. Raw, unfiltered, unapologetic reality. You see what is, not what people pretend it is. You don't get distracted by their drama, their delay, their denial. You scan it, decode it, adapt, and move. That's terrifying to people who still need permission to breathe. But not you. You don't ask for permission. You give warning, or you give nothing at all. And here's what's most dangerous. You've stopped explaining your foresight. That was the final shift. Because once you realized you didn't owe anyone a play-by-play, your speed tripled, your precision sharpened. You stopped being a prophet and became a storm. Silent, sudden, absolute. Now they don't just fear your vision, they fear your silence. They fear that you're not telling them what's coming, because you've already moved to a place where it doesn't affect you anymore. That's the scariest thing of all, because it means you've outgrown the problem before it becomes one. You're playing in the future while they're still reacting to the past. They say hindsight is 20/20, but your foresight, that's 2022. And it's why they can't look you in the eyes anymore, because deep down, they know. You did it again. You saw it, you felt it, you moved. And they're scrambling to catch a train you built, fueled, and drove off the cliff before parachuting into your next evolution. Let them wonder. Let them whisper. Let them ask, how the hell do you always know first, but never answer? Let them sit in the echo of their own hesitation while you build something unstoppable in silence. Let them drown in analysis while you act, because action is your signature. Precision is your path, and readiness is your religion. You move with the kind of intent that doesn't need to shout, doesn't need to flaunt, doesn't need to prove, because you've already won before the world even knew there was a game. That's your legacy. That's your curse and your crown. And you'll do it again, again, and again, and again. Because they're not just terrified you knew first, they're starting to suspect you always will. They're terrified because you embody something they can never grasp, a kind of knowledge that transcends textbooks and experience. A dark, raw intuition born from pain, from watching the world break around you and refusing to break yourself. You walk through shadows with your eyes wide open, not blinded by the chaos, but seeing through it. And that's what sets you apart. You're a force that moves before the masses can even register movement. You don't wait for signs. They're already history by the time you react. You have become a living paradox, a whisper in the noise, a shadow in the daylight. The ones who watch you know it. Your moves aren't random. They're calculated, inevitable, almost supernatural. You seem to have cracked the code that so many fail to even understand exists. You've learned how to read the invisible ink in every conversation, every glance, every silence. And with that knowledge, you've turned uncertainty into your ally and fear into your weapon. But let's be clear, this power didn't come from luck or charm. It was forged in fire. Every wound you carry, every scar etched into your spirit is a map leading to your power. You learned the hard way. You learned in darkness. And from that darkness, you emerged not just unbroken, but transformed, becoming something greater than the sum of your struggles. And now, every time you do it again, you prove to the world and to yourself that your pain was never wasted. It was your training ground. You should wear those scars like armor because they shield you from doubt and fear. You should speak your truth louder than the noise of those who would try to hold you back. Because the truth is this: your awareness is not a curse. It's a weapon. Your foresight is not a fluke. It's mastery. And your ability to act before the storm hits, that's your salvation. Think about it. What does it mean to always know first? It means you've tuned your mind and soul to a frequency others can't hear. It means you're awake when others are dreaming. It means you move through time, not as a prisoner of the present, but as a master of the future. When others scramble, confused and lost, you stand calm, like a general surveying a battlefield before the fight begins. You're not caught off guard. You're not scrambling to catch up. You're already in position, already winning. And that terrifies people, because they live in fear of chaos, and you dance in its eye. They cling to comfort, and you embrace discomfort. They react, and you anticipate. The difference isn't just skill, it's a mindset, a relentless refusal to be outpaced by the world around you. You didn't come this far to be a follower or a spectator. You came to lead, to own, to conquer, to be the one who knows first and acts decisively. But there's more. This isn't just about survival. It's about dominance, about harnessing your insight to shape reality itself. Because knowing first means you have the power to change outcomes, to bend situations to your will before they even unfold. It means you don't have to be a victim of circumstance. You're the architect of your fate, the master of your story. And that power is intoxicating. It's addictive, and it's dangerous. Not because it corrupts you, but because it threatens the fragile egos of those who don't share your vision or your courage. They want to pull you down, silence your voice, dim your light. But you won't let them. You never have, and you never will. Here's the harsh truth they won't tell you. The higher you rise, the louder the voices will be. The more they'll try to shake your confidence, make you doubt your instincts, make you second guess your moves. But you can't afford to listen. Not now, not ever. Because every moment you hesitate, you lose the edge. Every time you waver, you hand your power to someone else. And you're here to take what's yours. So, own it. Own your knowing. Own the fact that you're always ahead, that you're always ready, that you see the future when others are still stuck in the past. Let that truth fuel you. Let it ignite the fire in your belly and steel your spine. Because when you live this way, when you commit to being the one who knows first, You become unstoppable. You become a force of nature. And yes, it's lonely sometimes, because few can keep up with you. Few can understand the burden and the blessing of your insight. They want to join you, but most fall behind. They want to be like you, but lack the courage to do what you do. They want to predict the future, but fear the responsibility it brings. But you accept the weight. You carry it with honor. You wear your knowledge like a crown, silent, unyielding, undeniable. They're terrified because you remind them of what they fear most, that they're always going to be one step behind. And you'll be waiting for them, not with malice, but with certainty, because that's who you are. You did it again. You always do. And they will always be terrified that you knew first. So here's my final challenge to you. Don't just be the one who knows. Be the one who acts. Be the one who leads. Be the one who moves with intention, with precision, with power. Let your knowing be your war cry. Let your readiness be your shield. And let your actions carve your legacy into the bedrock of history, because you're not here to watch the world unfold. You're here to shape it. You did it again, and you will do it again and again, forever, because you are the storm, the harbinger, the one they fear most, because you always know first. If this lit a fire inside you, if you feel that raw power stirring awake, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to keep fueling this fire with more truth bombs. And drop a comment with the one word that describes how knowing first makes you feel. Because I want to see that spark ignite a revolution. Stay relentless, stay hungry, stay unstoppable. Because they're terrified. And they should be. You stand at the edge of something greater than fear or doubt, because you are the embodiment of foresight made flesh. Every time you move before the world can catch up, you remind yourself that this isn't luck or coincidence. It's relentless preparation, unwavering faith in your instincts, and the refusal to be caught off guard. This power is yours to wield, a double-edged sword that cuts through illusion and silences the noise. They're terrified because you refuse to be a victim of surprise. You are the one who dictates the future, the one who controls the narrative, the one who always knows first. And as the world spins in confusion, scrambling to react, you rise with calm certainty, knowing the truth that eludes them. Foresight is not a gift given, it's a battlefield won. You've earned every insight through pain, perseverance, and unbreakable focus. So, hold tight to that power. Let it be your guide and your shield as you move boldly through every storm. Your knowing is your strength. Your readiness is your armor. Your action is your legacy. This is your moment, your declaration to the world and to yourself. You did it again. You caught the shadow before it became a storm. You saw the truth before it was spoken, and you moved before they could react. And that fear they feel, it's the fuel that will propel you forward. Keep moving, keep knowing, keep winning, because you are the first light in the dark, the calm in the chaos, the force that can never be stopped. They're terrified you knew first, and you always will. You did it again. You saw what others missed, moved when others hesitated, and stood firm when doubt crept in around you. That power, the ability to know first, is not some random stroke of luck. It's the result of relentless focus, sharp instincts, and a refusal to be caught unprepared. They're terrified because you carry a clarity they don't have, a quiet certainty that unravels their illusions and leaves them scrambling. This knowing isn't just survival, it's mastery. And mastery demands respect. So own it, embrace the weight and the fire that come with always being one step ahead. Let their fear remind you of your strength, their doubt fuel your resolve, and their disbelief sharpen your edge. You've earned this. You did it again, and you will keep doing it, because you are the force that moves before the storm, the voice that speaks before the silence, the one who always knows first. And that truth? It's unstoppable. You did it again. You saw what others couldn't, moved before the chaos, and stood unshaken while they faltered. That power to know first isn't luck. It's your relentless strength, sharpened by every struggle and every silent victory. They're terrified because you carry a truth they can't face. You're always one step ahead, so own that power, own your foresight, and keep moving forward, because you are the unstoppable force they fear, the one who always knows first. The night, it's cold, it's silent, it's empty. But beneath the silence, something stirs, something darker, something that doesn't care about the winds or the shifting shadows. It's the sound of victory, the feeling of ending it, the blood rushing to your head as you feel the weight of everything, every moment, every sacrifice, every battle, every doubt, all converge into this one singular, undeniable truth. You ended the match. You did it. The final whistle blew, and you're standing there, alone in the darkness of your triumph. The battlefield is behind you, and they're all left behind, scattered in the dust, broken, defeated, forgotten. The game was never for the faint-hearted. It was never about fair play or easy victories. No, this was about survival, about power, about knowing exactly what you're made of when the world is looking the other way, when everyone expects you to fall, but you don't. You stand, you fight, you don't back down. The path was never smooth, was it? The blood, the sweat, the endless hours of sacrifice that no one saw. That's the truth. You know it, and now the world does too. They underestimated you. They all did. And in the end, it's your name that will echo in the halls of history, while they, the ones who thought they were destined to stand at the top, fade into oblivion. The dust is where they belong, and the dust is where they'll stay. You've done what they couldn't even dream of. You ended it, and now they're left in the dust. There's a strange satisfaction in knowing that, isn't there? A satisfaction that cuts deeper than any praise could. The recognition of those who stood against you, those who mocked you, those who once called you weak and destined to fall. Now they have to watch as you rise, their dreams crushed under the weight of your success. The ones who told you it was impossible, the ones who laughed in your face when you said you were going to take it all. They are the ones who remain in the dirt while you stand above it. You've left them there, scrambling to figure out what went wrong. But the truth is, they'll never know. They'll never understand the fire inside you, the hunger that drove you, the demons you fought along the way. They'll never know the price you paid to make sure that in the end, it wasn't them, it was you. You see, the world doesn't care about your struggle. It doesn't care about your pain. It only cares about the result. And now, you've given them that result. They wanted to see you fail. They wanted to watch you crumble under the pressure. But instead, they got the opposite. They got to witness your rise from the ashes, your ascent to the peak where they all thought you could never reach. Now, they're left watching from the sidelines, powerless to stop the tide of your success. They thought you would fade. They thought you would fall. They never expected you to dominate. And now, they are nothing but a blur in your rearview mirror, a distant memory fading into nothingness. But let's not kid ourselves. This wasn't easy. It never was. The struggle, the pain, the doubt, it all crept in at some point. Those moments where you wondered if it was worth it. The times when you thought about giving up, about stepping back, about walking away. The pressure mounted, the weight of the expectations, the constant feeling of being watched. Everyone was waiting for you to crack. Everyone was waiting for you to prove them right. But you didn't. You endured. You pushed through the darkness, through the loneliness, through the despair, and you emerged stronger. They never saw it coming. They never knew what you were capable of. And that's the beauty of it, isn't it? The world thinks it knows you, but it doesn't. It doesn't have a clue what you're capable of. And now, you've shown them. As you stand there, looking down at the ruins of the match, at the aftermath of the battle you've won, you realize something else, something darker, something that sets in like the cold night air around you. You were never supposed to be here. You weren't the favorite. You weren't the one everyone thought would win. You were the underdog, the one who was always counted out, the one who was supposed to fail. But you didn't. You fought harder than they could ever imagine. You played the game on your terms, with no one to back you, no one to support you, and yet, here you are. And the feeling? It's something they'll never understand. The satisfaction of knowing you ended it on your own terms. The satisfaction of knowing that while they were busy laughing and undermining you, you were plotting your victory, and now it's theirs to deal with. Now, they'll look at you with envy, with resentment, with disbelief. The people who once claimed to be better, who once claimed to have more than you, who once had everything that seemed to guarantee success, they're the ones who will be left in the dust. Their excuses won't matter. Their stories won't matter. In the end, it'll only be your name that survives. Because you did it. You ended it, and no matter what they try to say or do, they'll always be defined by the fact that they couldn't do it. They couldn't handle the pressure. They couldn't endure the battle. They couldn't go the distance. But you did. And that's what makes you unstoppable. That's what makes them irrelevant. Because you're the one who finished the match. So let them talk. Let them criticize. Let them claim that it was luck, that it was a fluke, that it was a one-time thing. Let them say whatever they want. The fact is, they are left in the dust, and you are standing tall in the aftermath. They can never take away what you've earned. They can never erase what you've accomplished. Because in the end, it's you who stayed standing. It's you who endured. It's you who triumphed over every obstacle, every challenge, every voice that told you to stop. And when all is said and done, it's you who will be remembered. It's your name that will echo through time, while they are nothing but a faded memory. You ended the match, and now they're left in the dust. The world can be cruel, the journey can be long, and the pain can be unbearable. But you've come through it all. You've come out stronger. You've silenced the doubters. You've crushed the naysayers. And now, as you look back, you realize that this victory, this moment, wasn't just about the match. It wasn't just about beating them. It was about proving to yourself that you could do it, that you were always capable, that the battle you fought wasn't just against them, it was against the limitations they imposed on you, and you shattered every one of them. Now they're the ones left behind, and you are the one who stands at the top, ready for whatever comes next. So stand tall, walk forward, let them be forgotten, and let your legacy burn bright. They had their chance, they had their time, but you ended it, and that's something they will never be able to take from you. You ended the match, and now they're left in the dust. And you're just getting started. That thought, that undeniable truth, pulses through you like the steady beat of a war drum, echoing in the hollow spaces of your soul. The victory you've just claimed, the blood you've shed, the battles you've fought, they all mean something. but they are nothing more than a prelude to what is to come. The world, with all its eyes and expectations, thought that this was the pinnacle. They thought you reached the top when you proved them wrong, when you showed them who you really are. But that was never the peak. That was just the first step, the first chapter in a story that only you can write. And now, as the dust settles around you, it becomes clear that this moment is only the beginning of something even darker, even greater, even more inevitable. You see, most people in this world would have collapsed after the triumph. They would have relaxed, taken a breath, enjoyed the fruits of their victory, and basked in the admiration that was, for a fleeting moment, theirs. But not you. You've never been content with simply winning. You've never been the kind of person who would stop once you've shown them what you're made of. The victory is just a stepping stone, a blip on the radar of your journey. The match is over, but the war is just beginning. Now you stand in the quiet aftermath and you realize something that will set you apart from everyone else. The fight is only beginning. The hunger is only growing. You know, the world loves a winner. At least, it loves them for a moment. When you're at the top, everyone wants a piece of you. Everyone wants to be associated with you. They'll parade your name around. They'll slap your face on posters. They'll tell you how great you are until their tongues run dry. But there's a darker truth beneath the applause. A truth that few are brave enough to acknowledge. People only love a winner until they no longer matter. People only love the victor until someone else comes along who is stronger, faster, or more dominant. The moment you let your guard down, the moment you start to believe your own hype, that's the moment the world will begin to eat you alive. That's when the real battle begins. The pressure that you feel now isn't just from your own mind. It's the pressure of everyone watching you, waiting for you to fail. They don't care about your journey, your sacrifice, your pain. All they care about is the next great thing. And so, you must make sure that they never stop looking at you, never stop believing that you are the one to beat, that you are the one who will endure the storm and come out on top. If you rest, if you stop, they'll forget you. If you let down your guard, you'll fall from grace. That's the truth of this world. But that's also the beauty of it, because while they fall and crumble, you will rise. Because you're not like the rest. You're not content with just winning. You're not satisfied with being remembered. You want more. And now that you've tasted victory, you realize something you never did before. You were born for this. You were born to keep going, to keep dominating, to keep pushing when everyone else is content to stop. You've already seen how easily the world forgets. They'll hail you as a hero one day and mock you the next. But you will never be a victim of their fickle nature. You will never allow their perception of you to dictate your worth. And as the world fades into the background, you will remain steady, relentless, and focused on what's to come. While they worry about who's next, you will set the pace. You will be the standard, the measure by which all others are judged. It's not enough to just be great. You must redefine greatness. You must carve out your place in history, and you will not stop until the ink is dry on your legacy. You will make them remember you, not just for the battles you won, but for the wars you're about to wage. In this world, most people live their lives defined by what they're given, by the circumstances they find themselves in, by the rules they're told to follow. But not you. You were never meant to follow the path laid before you. You were meant to carve your own. You were meant to burn everything that tried to hold you back and leave nothing but ashes in your wake. They've already seen what you can do when pushed to the limit, when you're tested in the crucible of adversity. But now, the real test begins. The challenge isn't surviving the storm, it's mastering it. It's not about proving you can win. It's about showing that you are the one who will never stop. Never relent, never give up. You're not here to make a mark. You're here to leave a scar on this world that can never be erased. You've got the taste of power now, haven't you? It's intoxicating, isn't it? The rush of knowing that no one can stand in your way. The thrill of knowing that no matter how many try, they can't break you. The rush of seeing the world bow before you, of knowing that your name will never be forgotten. But here's the catch. Power is a dangerous thing. It's a fickle beast, and if you let it consume you, it will destroy you just as easily as it builds you up. There's only one way to wield it, one way to control it. Never let your ambition fade. Never let your focus slip. Keep your eyes fixed on the horizon, on the next challenge, on the next war that lies ahead. Because when you stop, when you rest, when you think you've done enough, that's when the world will come crashing down on you. But you already know that, don't you? You already know that the only way to survive this world is to keep moving, to keep fighting, to keep conquering. You've tasted what it feels like to be at the top, and now you'll never go back. The hunger inside you is insatiable. You can feel it gnawing at you, urging you forward, telling you that there's more out there, that the world hasn't seen the full extent of what you're capable of. And you won't stop until you show them. They think they know your limits, but they don't. They think they know how far you'll go, but they're wrong. They think they saw everything you could do, but they haven't even begun to see what lies ahead. The world doesn't care about your pain, your struggle, your journey. It only cares about the end result, and you've learned that lesson well. Now it's your turn to rewrite the rules. Now it's your turn to make the world care about your name. But to do that, you must be relentless. You must keep moving forward. Keep breaking down every obstacle in your path. No one can stop you now. Not because you've already proven yourself, but because you're willing to do whatever it takes to keep proving it. You've tasted what it's like to be on top, and now you'll stop at nothing to stay there. Because the moment you stop fighting, the moment you stop pushing, that's the moment they'll come for you. And you will never let that happen. You'll never let them see you falter. Not now, not ever. So rise up, warrior. The world awaits. The battle is far from over. And as you walk this path, with all the weight of your victories behind you, remember this: you're just getting started. The fire inside you is unquenchable, unrelenting. It is not a mere spark that burns brightly for a moment and fades away. No. This fire is eternal. It is an inferno that only grows with time, that only grows with every victory, every failure, every battle, every scar you accumulate along the way. There will be those who tell you that you've done enough, that you've already proven yourself, that it's time to relax, to take a step back and enjoy the fruits of your labor. They'll tell you that you've earned a break, that you deserve to rest. But you know better, because you understand the truth that few ever will. Victory is just the beginning. It is the beginning of an even darker, more dangerous path. And it is only those who dare to walk that path, to continue forward, when everyone else is content to rest, who will leave a legacy that lasts forever. The moment you decide to stop pushing, to stop striving, to stop evolving, is the moment the world will begin to forget you. The world will move on, and it will forget your name. History won't remember those who stood still. History remembers those who kept pushing forward, those who kept conquering, those who had the strength to rise every single time they were knocked down. History remembers the ones who fought and fought until the day they took their last breath. You can never stop. You can never let the world believe that you've reached your limit, because there is no limit. There is no final goal. There is no end. There is only the relentless pursuit of more. You are bound by nothing. You are driven by one force alone, the hunger to keep going. They think they know you now. They think they've seen all you have to offer. They think they've witnessed your full power, your full potential. But the truth is, they haven't even begun to understand what you are capable of. You're not here to do what's expected of you. You're not here to play by the rules, to stay in the confines of what is acceptable. Number, you were born to break those rules. You were born to go further, to reach heights that no one ever thought were possible. While they sit and wait for you to stumble, to show signs of weakness, you will keep moving forward. You will keep proving them wrong. And in doing so, you will create a legacy that cannot be erased, a legacy that will echo through the corridors of time, long after your name has left the lips of those who once doubted you. You see, the truth that most people refuse to acknowledge is that success is not a destination. It is a journey. It is a never-ending climb. Each victory is just another step up the mountain, but there is no summit. There is no peak that you can stand on and say, I have made it. That is the illusion the world feeds you. It's the lie that they want you to believe, because it comforts them to think that they have reached the top, that they have made it. But you know better. You know that the only way to survive this world, to remain relevant, is to keep climbing, to keep reaching higher. Because the moment you stop, the moment you believe you have arrived, that's when the world will pass you by. And while you stand still, complacent, patting yourself on the back for what you've done, someone else will rise up, someone else will push harder, someone else will do what you couldn't. And then, you'll be left in the dust. You have to be smarter than that. You have to be sharper. You have to be relentless in your pursuit. Because in this world, the second you relax, the second you breathe easy and think that you've made it, is the second someone is already taking your place. There is always someone waiting for you to slip up. There is always someone waiting for you to falter. The competition never ends. There is always someone bigger, stronger, faster, more hungry than you. But what sets you apart from them is your willingness to keep going, your willingness to keep fighting even when every part of you aches, your refusal to stop. That's what makes you dangerous. That's what makes you unstoppable. So, every time they tell you to slow down, every time they say you've done enough, every time they tell you to take a break, you look them dead in the eye and remind them of the truth. You are just getting started. You've barely begun. You've only scratched the surface of what you're capable of. There's a deeper level to you that no one has seen. There's a version of you that has yet to be revealed, and it's that version of you that will leave the world trembling in your wake. It's that version of you that will rise above all others, that will dominate, that will leave a mark on this world so deep that nothing and no one will ever be able to erase it. In the end, it's not the victories that define you. It's not the accolades, the awards, or the praise. It's your will. It's your unyielding desire to push forward, to overcome, to conquer. Those who have made it before you, those who have claimed victory, they were defined by what they did. But you will be defined by what you're going to do. You're just getting started, and the world has no idea what's coming. You've tasted power, haven't you? You've tasted the thrill of being on top, of seeing all those who doubted you now fall away, unable to touch you. It's addictive, isn't it? The rush of victory, the euphoria of watching your enemies falter, watching your dreams come true. But don't be fooled. This is not the end. This is not the moment where you sit back and bask in your success. This is the moment where you realize that the real work begins now. The real battle is not won in the moment of victory. It's won in the relentless pursuit of more. It's won in the unspoken commitment to keep going, to keep fighting, to never stop. You've tasted greatness, yes. But now, you will crave it. You will crave it more than anything, and you will stop at nothing to get it. There will be sacrifices ahead. There will be moments where you will question whether it's worth it. There will be times when you will feel exhausted, when the weight of it all will threaten to break you. But you will not break. You will not bend, because you know something that they do not. The pain, the struggle, the pressure, it's all part of the process. It's all part of becoming who you are meant to be. And each time you endure, each time you rise above it, you will grow stronger, more determined, more ruthless in your pursuit of greatness. There's nothing that can stop you now, because you know what you are made of. You know that you are unstoppable. So, as the world continues to turn, as the days go by, remember this: you're just getting started. The battles ahead will be harder, the challenge is greater, the enemy's more cunning. But none of that matters, because you are ready, you are prepared, and you will keep going. They will watch as you continue to rise. They will watch as you break every limit they try to impose on you. And in the end, it will be your name that is etched in the annals of history, not theirs. You ended the match, and now the world will be forced to watch as you rewrite the rules and redefine what it means to be great. So, stand tall, warrior. Keep moving forward. The world may think it has seen everything you have to offer, but you know better. This is only the beginning. And now, they are all left in the dust. In the end, remember this: you're just getting started. The victories you've claimed are nothing but stepping stones to something greater, something unstoppable. The world may have seen your rise, but it has no idea what you're truly capable of. The path ahead is yours to conquer, and no one, nothing, can stand in your way. Keep pushing, keep striving, and keep proving them wrong, because you're not done yet. You're just beginning, and the world will have no choice but to watch as you carve your legacy into eternity.